had to say about this. Total support must be given to our heroic fighters operating in Gaza who acted excellently against the Gazan mob that tried to harm them. Today, it was proven that the transfer of humanitarian aid to Gaza is not only madness while our abductees are being held in the Strip under substandard conditions, but also endangers the IDF soldiers. This is another clear reason why we must stop transferring this aid, which is in fact to harm the IDF soldiers and oxygen to Hamas. That's awesome. The best backup that can be given our fighters is to throw you out of power with a missile. Anyway. This is another good one. Many were killed and injured after Israeli forces opened fire near an aid convoy. Starkly different accounts of what happened were offered. Bro, you are a fucking news publication. Your job, it's like journalism 101. Your job is not to go, some people are saying it's raining outside. Other people are saying it's sunny outside. Open the fucking window, crack it open, and put your fucking hand out to see if it's raining or if it's fucking sunny. What do you mean? This is literally like, this is not news. You are not reporting on the news. Breaking news. Things are happening. We don't know what. Who could tell? I don't know. Probably Israel's in the right. Okay, thanks. I feel very informed by this. This is the fucking gray lady. This is the paper of record, dog. What the hell is going on? Many were killed and injured after Israeli forces opened fire near an aid convoy. Starkly different accounts. Like, some things happen to some people. We don't know anything. This is giving up, dude. This is literally like, bro, this is me during COVID when I just stopped working out. I just gave up. Okay, I was like, fuck it. I'm not moving. I'm not moving at all. This is you've directly said now, as the most important institution in the field of journalism in the United States of America. You said, I'm giving up. What the fuck? I see your New York Times push notification and I raise you this. Jason Hickel. Dude, when you wanted to send this, when you first sent this link to me, I thought you were like sending me a Jackson Hinkledink link. And I was like, I don't want to. Biden says Gaza food aid related deaths complicate ceasefire talks. Food aid related deaths? What does this mean? What is he talking about? Food aid related deaths? What is, like, did they get poisoned? Did the food aid collapse on top of the people? Like, what is? Okay, let's hear another one. Heated exchange. State Department spokesperson Matt Miller unable to condemn Israel's killing, blames Hamas. Why is it so difficult for this government to say we condemn the killing of Palestinian women and children? Why don't you say the word condemn? We don't want to see anyone die. Hamas launched this war in the first place. Oh my God! Yet I haven't heard a word condemn. This war began. Began way before October 7th.
You don't have any doubt that only one side did the shooting and the killing and the shelling and so on of these people, correct?
Said, I have seen reports No,
you haven't. No, you haven't. You have not seen any reports. Or you have, and you're lying. You have seen the report. You're just fucking lying. Your job is to lie. Oh my God. Oh, I saw that. Actually, guys, I saw that it was actually the Palestinian people themselves that were killing themselves. They found guns and they started shooting themselves.
I've seen different reports with respect to that very question.
Right.
We don't know, as I said earlier, the ground truth of what happened, which is why we think it's appropriate that investigation be conducted.
So you think that there were...
Bro, they say this every time, okay? They say this every fucking time. And then they just block and push and wait. until Israel does another unimaginably cruel thing. And then they push it down the line again and again and again and again. It's unimaginable. Anyway, more than 110 Palestinians are reported to have been killed while trying to get desperately needed aid in North Gaza. Crowds of waiting civilians descended on a convoy of lorries after it passed through an Israeli military checkpoint on the coastal road west of Gaza City. Israelis military said troops fired at some of those people they thought were a threat. In the ensuing chaos, the lorries attempted to move forward. A Palestinian witness told the BBC that most of those who died were run over. At least 112 people were killed and 760 others injured in the incident, the spokesman of Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry, Ashraf al-Qudra, said in a statement on Thursday afternoon. Dramatic aerial footage released by the Israeli military showed thousands of people on and around the lorries, while graphic videos of the aftermath posted on social media showed some of the dead loaded onto emptied aid lorries and a donkey cart. Why are they so desperate for aid? Why has the aid actually trickled in such slow numbers? I know people that are fucking out there right now. I see them talking about it in Jordan specifically, talking about how impossible it is and how much aid is being currently held up in points of entry. Why? It's not like the entire world isn't trying to desperately bring help into Gaza. They certainly are. Kids are eating fucking animal feed and grass, especially in northern Gaza. Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry blamed Israel for what it called a massacre, while U.S. President Joe Biden expressed concern that it would complicate efforts by the U.S. and other mediators to broker a temporary ceasefire in the war between Hamas and Israel. I'll tell you this much, and I mean this with all sincerity. I think the amount of Hamas-run health ministry has actually unironically caused more people in the Western world to be like, yeah, okay, I'm with those guys, actually. Like, originally, when it started, there was obviously the bad guys in the eyes of the Western world and the way that they received it were Hamas. They went in and they did unspeakable things, and a lot of people were geared up with the atrocity propaganda on top of the real atrocities that had occurred. So they were like, oh my God, of course I condemn Hamas. This is devastating. But after 5 months, constantly fucking positioning Hamas against the IDF has unironically normalized Hamas as a legitimate entity. Because guess what? For the past 5 months, Hamas has been defending the Palestinian population against the Israeli military's brutal genocidal bombing campaign. So of course people are going to see that. And with the media constantly being like, Hamas run health ministry, Hamas said this, Hamas said that. Of course people are going to inevitably be like, all right, you know what? Lesser evil. Because it is. Because it fucking is. I will stand on that. I will stand on this business. Hamas, between Hamas and Israel, Hamas is the lesser evil of the two, both in the amount of civilians that they deliberately targeted and killed, okay, in comparison to the amount of actual soldiers that they killed. That's it. The numbers are undeniable, okay? That is before we talk about like the destruction of civil society. That's it. You consistently have such a high view of the normie brain. The more you learn every day actually separates you more and more from the average person. I think that normal human beings, if given all of the facts, will most likely go along with their morality and will inevitably be able to overcome their previous social conditioning. People will get real mad at you for that take. For what take? That Hamas is the lesser evil between Hamas and IDF? I am ready to stand on that take all day, every day. I've been saying that because it's fucking true. is literally true. People are actually insane for acting like that is not the case. It is objectively the case. They have killed, one, by totality, significantly fewer civilians, and per capita, they've killed significantly fewer civilians in comparison to enemy combatants. It's not even a question. It's not even a question. And that is before we talk about like the fucking obvious like death and destruction of like normal civil life. Shutting off food, shutting off aid, shutting off electricity. Hamas does not have the capacity to do these things to Israel in the same way that Israel does, because Israel is the occupier. Israel is, and this is not just like me being fucking woke and doing like entry level theory. I love bros defending rapists. I never defended Israel. I never defended Israel. That's really fucked up that you said that. Number one. Dude, this is how laughable the fucking pro-Israel propaganda is. Where they're just keep trying to fucking revamp the atrocity, the atrocity porn over and over again. It's so funny. I have never been more vindicated on any issue more than my consistent takes on fucking Israel and Palestine. And the only reason for why is because, like, I've seen it, I've covered it for 10 fucking years. That's it. Somebody hasn't heard the news about the New York Times story? Yeah. I missed a bit where Hamas were parading the underwear of the women they had killed. Oh yeah, that's right. You missed that bit because Israel's been doing that. That's a good one. You're right. True. Forgot about that one. Oh yeah, no, we're going to talk about the story behind the New York Times October 7 expose, the most famous mass atrocity rape on October 7 article, and who wrote the article and how that article was ever even fucking brought up. And the New York Times itself recognized very quickly after they fucking blasted it into the ether that it did not meet the muster of like a genuine piece of journalism. And there was a lot of internal battles inside of the New York Times for even bringing that fucking article up. The Daily had to delete their fucking entire episode. It should call into question everything you fucking know about the way that these guys operate. Yeah. The New York Times is also launching a leak investigation over this. The New York Times is conducting a leak investigation, a rare move of the paper following the Intercept's report on a yet-to-air episode of The Daily addressing claims of sexual violence committed by Hamas on October 7th. That's so funny that the entire fucking media is like running defense for the New York Times here when they fucked up in a ginormous way. That's the more interesting part, is that the New York Times is doing a leak investigation, not the fact that they literally... Oh, okay. Yeah. Glad to see the New York Times is taking internal and external criticisms of it covered seriously. It's important that any organization to be able to self-reflect, learn from mistakes, and improve. Oh, wait, this is what they're doing instead. Launching a leak investigation. This is Trumpian shit. I'm thankful for the New York Times for standing behind the important stories we've published. The Times didn't just stand behind me, but also many of the women whose stories needed to be told. The recent attack against me will not deter me from continuing my work. Telling the truth and giving voice to women in Israel and worldwide. I understand why people who do not know me were offended by the inadvertent like. I pressed on 10-7 and I apologize for that. Anyway. Absolute demon shit. We're going to get to that in a second. Let's continue with the let's continue with the other manufacturing consent story that we were talking about. Yeah, I mean, Itamar Ben-Gvir has always been embracing that he's a villain. Themesius, we already talked about this. He very openly was like, no more aid. They've been saying that. There's plenty of people that are saying that. Anyway, but we'll get to the New York Times leak and The Intercept's brilliant reporting on the matter. But before we get to that, let's get back to the story at hand. The incident happened hours before the health ministry announced that more than 30,000 people, including 21,000 women and children, had been confirmed killed in Gaza since the start of the conflict. 21,000 women and children have been killed. 30,000 total have been killed. Okay? There is no world in which you can engage in lesser evil and act like Israel is actually the good guys here. Israel were the bad guys on October 6th. Israel were the bad guys on October 8th. Israel has been the bad guy for 75 fucking years. If you want like the Marvel Cinematic Universe style good bad dynamics here, this is one of the very few instances where you can actually do that because the morality is clear. It's like Ukraine and Russia, right? Russia, bad guys for fucking invading Ukraine. That's it. That's it. Don't do that. Israel, bad guys for being an apartheid state. Don't do that. You can fucking desperately cling on to the preconceived notions that people may have about Hamas and they're scary and they're Muslim and they're terrorists and you know, all of this other stuff that happened. Oh my God. But it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Some 7,000 others have been reported as missing. 70,450 have been treated for injuries over the past 4 months, according to the ministry. This is deeply shocking. But Azov, that's so funny that you say Azov. I don't know if you're like pushing Z or if you're like trying to make fun of me as a NATO defender or something. But I've always maintained the position that, like, while Azov is a nationalist battalion, this does not justify Russia's invasion of Ukraine. I've never, ever fucking said that it was valid. This is deeply shocking because if you add the number of people who have been injured and the number of people who are missing, you have more than 100,000 people, which represents 5% of the population. Philip Lazzarini, the head of the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, UNRWA, told the BBC. The UN is also warning of a looming famine in the north of the territory, where an estimated 300,000 people are living with little food or clean water. Rory V, thank you for the 50 gifted subs. I'm going to run the 3-minute ad break right now as well at the top of the hour, and then we're going to move on. We're going to continue with the story. I'm not doing like a segue. People need to drop decorum. I'm talking about Israeli atrocities because IOF sympathizers get extremely accusational, emotional, and straight up rabid when you mention it. We shouldn't honor Zionists with candor in political speech because it's the same as legitimizing Nazis. It's point if you're at a table with one Zionist and 10 other people, you are at a table with 11 Zionists. There's a difference. There's certainly a difference because of the varying degrees of Zionism and what people understand and it being like a foreign nation. The Israeli military launched a large-scale, but it is definitely genocide. It is genocide. As is 100% true. It's genocide. Through and through. That's it. Israel is engaging in genocidal actions, and America is funding and facilitating that genocide, providing political cover for said genocide, giving weapons to Israel to continue conducting said genocide. It's not even this is not like anyone who tries to debate you on this point is just an unserious person who is a cruel and heartless individual in general. There is no way that you can look at the situation and go, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe a little bit of genocide is fine. It's valid. I mean, if you tell them simple facts, they push back and they're a toast. Nazi apologists are complicit in genocide. Yes. Anyway, the Israeli military launched a large-scale air and ground campaign to destroy Hamas, which is prescribed as a terrorist organization by Israel, the UK, and others, after its gunmen killed about 1,200 people in southern Israel on October 7th and took 253 people back to Gaza as hostages. Thursday's incidents took place shortly after 2 GMT past an Israeli military checkpoint on Rashid Street, which runs along the Mediterranean coast. Palestinian sources gave the location as the Nabulsi roundabout on the southwestern edge of Gaza City. Now, if you've seen like convoys such as this one, aid convoys in the past, there's always chaos in the delivery. And that chaos is a consequence of, okay, excuse me, I'm sorry that I fucking burped. Okay, suck my dick. It happened on accident. Jesus Christ, I'm a human being. I'm a human being who's doing the hardest job on the planet, as always, you know? I strongly disagree. Given how the Palestinians are portrayed, so many automatically side with Israel, succumbing to media propaganda. It is not granted that people see this clearly. If what you are saying was correct, then the majority of the American population would not be demanding a ceasefire. I think, and with all sincerity, I think there's a lot more Americans that are like, enough is enough. Fucking dial it back. What the hell is going on? Especially in comparison to like where such a military campaign or how such a military campaign would have been received 10 years ago. Hasan, there are no major protests in America. I don't think average people care about it all that much. First of all, you're wrong. There have been major protests in America endlessly for the past 5 months without fatigue in general. The difference is media never covers it on purpose. And also, we just covered a massive protest vote campaign where 100,000 plus individuals in the state of Michigan went and voted uncommitted. If you think that the protests have not been ongoing, you're basically telling on yourself. Genuinely insane that this is the right-wing Israeli reaction to the Biden administration, giving them literally every single thing they want with no limitations and conditions. I am an Israeli outraged at Biden's betrayal of Israel by forcing a stop the war in Gaza and preventing Israel from winning and eradicating Hamas, and forcing on Israel a terrorist Palestinian state as a reward for the massacres and rapes of Jews to appease anti-Semitic leftist voters.
My name is Shula. I'm an Israeli, and I'm outraged. I'm so disappointed by President Biden.
Dude, this shit is awesome. Like, no, more please. You are a fucking unhinged freak, dude. No, it's great. It's great. This kind of stuff is great. I love seeing just the most mentally ill person I've ever seen in my entire life be so fucking bloodthirsty for more Palestinian children and women to be murdered. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. These people are so fucking despicable. First of all, why are you dressed the way you're dressed? What's going on here, lady? What the fuck's going on? Okay, never mind.
He betrayed Israeli people. He wants us to have a ceasefire. And when we are in the beginning of the end of this war, we are winning big. It will be known as one of the best victory open warfare in the history of the world.
Is she in Brickell? Is this Brickell? What's this background? This doesn't look like Israel to me. This looks like fucking Brickell, right? Yeah, it looks like Miami. Brickell is I mean it's Florida, it's Miami. Miami, Israel. Yes, it's Brickell City Center. Bitch, I know my fucking Miami. I lived there, dog. I know my shit. Thank you to the Miami natives backing my ass up here. I am the Geo Rainbolt, okay? I'm the real Geo Rainbolt here.
We are winning because there is no other alternative after the atrocity and the massacre of the Jewish people. And Biden wants us to stop the war in order to give victory to Hamas, to credit them with the victory, and then
she's so insane, brother. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Every part of this is awesome. She's fake crying, the outfit, the massive Star of David that she like put over her fucking gold necklace. Whoo! How are we stuck with the conservative Cubans and the Zionists? I hate that I love Miami. Oh yeah, no. Florida is the fucking actual armpit of the United States of America. It's got the absolute worst of the worst of the worst of the worst, brother. Not even a question. Florida is winning the absolute worst person Olympics every time, dude. Filled to the goddamn brim.
during the ceasefire, supposedly he cares about releasing hostages, but it's not about the hostages. He wants to lead it. During that time, he will declare a Palestinian state. He will give a reward, a prize to Hamas terrorist Nazi and credit them with the win that they got a war. It's like after United States defeated Al Qaeda in Iraq and in Afghanistan. It's like United States would.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. Like her being super fucking ugly and also trying to do fake tears while dressed like an 18-year-old definitely ruins most of the, like, half of the fucking argument that she's trying to present is immediately destroyed by how fucking hysterically ugly she is, okay? How hysterical and how ugly she is both inside and out unironically just destroys half of the fucking marketing here. Okay? Sorry. She looks insane.
Give Al Qaeda state to the enemies of the United States in the Middle East, but it's worse. Have an Al Qaeda state in Canada and in Hamas. Do you understand?
Hamas! Get the fuck out of here, bro. Hamas! Al Qaeda and Hamas! Shut the fuck up, dumbass. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. What is happening, dude? What the fuck? Bro, I said this before, but like, Israel obviously greatly cares about how their Hasbara is received in the Western world. If I'm Mossad, I'm making sure these guys don't have any phones, okay? I'm making sure these are the first guys I'm going after. You understand? I'm trying to ensure that this person never, ever presents themselves as pro-Israel ever again. Straight up.
It will be the continuation. It will be again and again the 710 of horrors, 9/11 against us. That's what he's doing in order to convince the Muslim in Michigan to vote for Biden for a war. This is what he's talking about, politics.
Bro, she's shaking like she got the vaccine injury.
And he wants the young people, the extreme to the left that worship now.
When that Moderna hits, okay, and my girl starts tweaking. This is... Oh no. Hamas! Hamas! Biden wants to vote for Hamas!
Osama bin Laden on TikTok, that they will be the one. 80% of the American people.
It's so funny because, like, I can't even hear a single goddamn thing that she's saying because it's like, it's so loud in the background that, like, she's also like hysterical, but like whisper yelling, if that makes sense, and gasping for air in between too. It's just every part of this video 10-10, okay? 10-10, phenomenal new ways of saying Hamas, worst fit of all time. It's great, dude. This is like, Bro, she's about to get a contract from any current day metal band. She got nice screams. No, she's whisper screaming.
With Israel, and he cares about the 20% and neglecting, deserting the only democracy in the Middle East, the only Jew.
Read about who her dad was. After seeing the horrors of his fellow Jews who suffered in the concentration camps, Shula's father returned back to pre-Israel in July 1946 and joined the Irgun, of course, the Jewish underground under the command of Menachem Begin to force the British out of Palestine and establish an independent Jewish state. He was one of the first fighters to conquer Jaffa. In 1948, he joined the Israeli Defense Forces. Biden is in the beginning was normal and then turned on us, the Jewish state, when we decided to fight. Because Biden secretly loves Hamas. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's so good. Back and not to act like victims and decided to use a rod to self-defense and destroy evil. Yeah, dude. I mean, this lady, this is what happens when you get a lobotomy.
Instead, they suffer Holocaust, and we are trying to protect ourselves against evil, and also we can continue to have one Jewish state with Judeo-Christian values.
Yeah, with Judeo-Christian values. Dude, there's no way she thinks she's popping off with this, right? Like, why did you post this, dumbass? This is just like 2 minutes of unfiltered, like, baby brain shit. Oh, first she popped off with the Hebrew, too. She made both of them. She made a Hebrew version and also an English version. She said, we want one apartheid state. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying, bro. You gotta, dude, listen. If I'm in charge of Hasbara, I'm trying to make sure only baddies are talking about Israel, okay? No more Amy Schumer, no more fucking Brett Gelman. I'm trying to find baddies. I'm trying to find baddies to be like, yeah, actually fucking genocide is so sick. It's the sickest. It's always these people. The fuck's going on? They lost all the TikTok girlies. Ain't nobody's out here being like, yeah, Israel has a right to defend itself on TikTok. They're not doing that. Honey, come quick. New Hasanabi impersonation just dropped. Yeah, bro. Michael Rappaport. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Low key, though, I have noticed, and maybe it's because they're already like famous, I guess, and I've been paying more attention. But like every single person that was like Arabs are rapist dogs that need to be ritualistically humiliated and ethnically cleansed in Hollywood has gotten like Tampax commercials and shit like that. Like I feel like Michael Rappaport is about to get a fucking Oscar or some shit for you know, his like third background guy on some fucking Geico commercial. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. It's crazy. What is happening? What is this? Hardest tweet writer? Who's that? Got to make sure the English speakers listen to. All the baddies are on the front lines. No, they're not. What material reasons does Israel have to continue this? Is there oil there? I know they're ethno-nationalists and probably won't want material reasons, but I'm curious. Yeah, I mean, it's just like pure dominance in that area for sure. And yes, ethno-nationalism. It's pure fascism. That's it. There is no other way to describe it. It's just pure fascism. Tiffany Haddish, too. She just wanted to tour Israel to stand up. Yeah, Tiffany Haddish standing up to the oppressive nature of age of consent laws. Bro, come on, man. You don't have to literally have every single celebrity that has had like grooming allegations fucking go to Israel and do a tour there. Okay? It's like the USO for pedophiles. What the fuck is happening? Straight up. What the fuck? Everyone is like, oh yeah, whoa, was I outed as a groomer? Well, time to go to Israel. Time to time to go to Israel and talk about how Israel has a right to defend itself. Avengers Age of Consent. P. Diddy is about to make the most P. Diddy is about to make the most unforgettable trip to Israel of a lifetime, okay? Shit. Doesn't it make sense because Israel has lax extradition laws? Yes, that is the major reason why a lot of like people do end up going there. Yes. Please click the link. You think her drip is bad here? Look at this outfit she has. Yo! Okay, I take it back. This lady is goated. This lady is actually Wait, what? Why is she dressed up like am I crazy? Is she trying to look like a Nazi? Like, what is happening? Bro, she's wearing fetish gear. Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman costume. Yeah, this is literally fetish gear. A cross between a Nazi and a Dom Zionist. I'm telling you, it's a sex thing. Yeah, the armbands are, bro, this is like, I feel like this is so aggro, the German state is going to come down on it. Like, they're going to be like, hey, sorry, you can't, we're going to copy strike you. You cannot be biting our stees, lady. You officially ruined latex for me. I hope you're happy. Yeah, the armbands are a little on the nose, I think. It's weird that she has a gimp suit on and she made it like she tried her hardest to make it as Nazi as possible. Anyway, it's Gyat Woman. Oh, she's not Gyat Woman. Did you see that simulated war game predicted an Israel-Iran war would go nuclear real fast? Lemafao. I did not. And I hope that never happens. The Bulletin of the Atomic Scientist posted on it. The atomic clock guys. Yesterday, you said Dems are only one step away from posting fake sexy photos of Biden, and not even an hour later, I saw this tweet, Lamau. Bro, I know my hogs, man. I know my fucking hogs. Hogs come in all shapes and sizes and of all different political backgrounds, including liberals. There you go. This is it. Have you seen Ben-Gvir's post where he outright states that it was the Israeli soldiers conducting a massacre and praises said soldiers? Yes, I did. By the way, speaking of German state, the other day you heard a chatter was fined £300 for reposting your shit. I raise you this. I have to pay 1,400 euros for attempting, I didn't, to steal a 399 euro smoothie. German legal system doing well. That's crazy. When will you use this power for good? I can't precog good things. Okay? I cannot precog good things because only bad things are happening. It's not like I'm wishing it upon the world for it to happen. I'm just telling you it's going to happen. And then it does end up happening. And unfortunately, it's just only bad things. I see very little good things coming in the future. Anyway.
Other people shooting
Saeed, I said I have seen
Palestinians?
reports that other people were shooting. I don't know the veracity of any of those reports, which is why we're seeking more information.
And you expect to get any results from these investigations, these reports? Will you come back to us next week and tell us this is?
I can't promise you next week because I don't know how long an investigation will take, but
But
certainly, but hold on, certainly when an investigation is completed and we're briefed on that investigation, I'm happy to come brief you on that.
On the principle of it, why is it so difficult for this government to say we condemn the killing of children, Palestinian women and children? Why can't you say the word condemn?
Saeed, if you listen to what I said a moment ago,
I
hold
very
on,
carefully.
Saeed, please don't interrupt me.
Yeah.
I said far too many
Right.
Palestinians have died. Thousands of Palestinian children have died, and it is a tragedy when one of them dies. Of course, we don't want to see a single child die. We don't
like,
want
it's
to
a
see anyone die
statistic.
as a result.
He's like, in the famously, listen, thousands of Palestinians die. It's a statistic. One Palestinian dies is a tragedy. Actually, as a matter of fact, it's fine. It's always a statistic. I don't really care.
Result of this conflict, which is why we have been working to bring this conflict to a close as soon as possible. But whenever you ask me these questions, I
It's
do
not a
think
conflict,
you continue
bro.
to kind of just elide over the fact that
Like, it's like, dude, listen, the final solution was not a conflict, okay? It was ethnic cleansing. Like, I don't understand. Dude, you can say anything's a conflict, okay? Murat, buying new things to fill my fucking garage is a conflict, okay? It's a very broad spectrum of events that you can consider to be a fucking conflict. You're a libtard. I am not a libtard, I don't think. What do you think of XCG? Why are you such a liberal? Don't ban this guy. He's a pet. New pet. My body and I had a conflict this morning on the toilet. Yeah, it could be anything and everything. That's why words matter. That's why we have different words. That's why we use different words specifically to talk about different things.
Hamas bears a great deal of responsibility for putting those children in harm's way. Remember, it was Hamas that launched this war in the first place with an attack on Israel that killed men, women, and children, and that Hamas that hid and continues to hide behind children as human shields. So yes, we do not want to see any child die. We don't want to see any innocent civilian die, which is why we are working so hard to try to achieve a temporary ceasefire that would alleviate their suffering.
Yet I have not heard the word condemn. I mean, this war began way before October 7. I mean, in fact, the reason that this administration was so strong on, pursuing a Middle East peace and so on, because the war has been going on for decades before and so on. We heard this administration when they came into office talking about reopening the consulate, talking about reopening the PLO office here, talking about restarting and reigniting peace talks and so on, re-aiding UNRWA and so on, simply because the war has been going on for a very long time. Because Gaza was under siege for a very, very long time.
Saeed, nothing that happened before October 7th justifies what Hamas did on that day. And it is what Hamas did on that day that led to the outbreak of this war and led to the suffering of so many innocent Palestinians. And I just feel it's important to correct that fact.
That's fine. I mean, you guys said this many times before, but in fact, Israel has been waging war on Gaza for a very, very long time. Let me ask you on the aid issue, on the trucks and the trailers and so on. Is there anyone other than Israel that is holding the aid from going in?
It is not a question of aid going in. That's not the problem right now, Saeed. The problem is that when aid gets in, there's a distribution problem inside Gaza right now because there are police officers, some of whom are members of Hamas, who have been providing the security for those for that distribution inside Gaza. And what Israel says is that they have a legitimate right to go after members of Hamas. So we would obviously prefer to see members of a security force inside Gaza who are not Hamas members, but that's not where we are today. So it is a situation that we continue to try to work through.
So this is really the classic catch-22 kind of situation because Hamas governed Gaza for a very long time. All the police, all the many of the security forces and so on. Unless you supply Gaza with police and other staff people, whatever, who are from Egypt, from anywhere, to distribute these things. It's going to be the same people to distribute it.
As I said,
correct?
it is an
So this is really, you're saying, okay, you can't, it's a catch-22 situation.
I don't think you're listening to what I said. What I said is we believe the way to ultimately solve this problem is to try to get a temporary ceasefire that would...
Brother, listen to me. Listen to me. He is Hamas. Okay? Sometimes even Matt Miller himself is Hamas. That's how it works. You have to kill the Hamas inside of you sometimes. You missed the Freudian slip? Yes, I saw, I heard. Ugh. That's what I'm saying. He's right. The reporter, also Hamas. Matt Miller, Hamas. Joe Brandon, Hamas. Benjamin Netanyahu, Hamas. Yeah. Inside of you are two wolves. Both of them support Hamas. That's it. And they're both gay. Yeah, Bibi says no elections. Pass Haredi draft law compromise. Otherwise, election ends war. What is the utility of general elections now? Asked Netanyahu. General election means the end of the war. Which, by the way, says a lot about the way that the Israeli population views the continuation of the war. Because, like Benjamin Netanyahu, deeply unpopular. Okay, Benjamin Netanyahu, very unpopular. War, very popular. Oh, so. Sometimes a joke, it's another good day not to be the New York Times public editor, but the organization could really use one right now to investigate on behalf of the readers. Yeah. Multiple New York Times sources tell me, we're going to talk about Anat Schwartz in a second and the October 7 rape atrocity propaganda that that Israel tapped into Hillary Clinton to promote and talk about. Okay? Representative Ilhan Omar accused the Biden administration of greenlighting the massacre of Palestinians. What is true? She is right. And she should say it. ADL Jonathan Greenblatt weighs in on voting uncommitted in Michigan. Pathetic, he says, adding those voting uncommitted should get involved in the political process, to which the host responds in so many words, isn't that what they're doing?
Meaning the people voting uncommitted. I don't know. Yeah. I'm old enough to remember.
Why do you give a shit? Why do you care? Don't act like you give a fuck about the Democratic Party, bitch.
When you're upset about policies that a government was doing or that your political party was doing, you actually got involved. You didn't pull back. You said, I want a seat at the table and I'm going to earn it and then demand. I think what's happening is ridiculous.
So you don't think
how's that going to help economic opportunity for the people of Michigan? How's that going to help make that state better? How's that
Yeah, dude. I don't think they care about that. I think they care about the fucking genocide. You know, sometimes genocide's pretty big. Pretty big deal, you know? Pretty big fucking deal for a lot of people.
Could help the Democratic Party win.
People who just voted.
I think these people voting uncommitted, I think it's pathetic. And if they really want to make a difference, they should roll up their sleeves and get involved. But you know what, Andrew? I hope they like what the other guy will do. I'm sure he'll listen to them, you know?
That's awesome. That's awesome. Every liberal is like this now. Which, by the way, I don't even know if Greenblatt is still a liberal, honestly. But goddamn, everyone is just like, I can't wait for Trump to fucking deport you. Like, oh shit, man, damn, didn't realize it was like that. Okay, fuck. I cannot wait for Trump to do another Muslim ban. You don't want to vote for us? You don't want to vote for the Democratic Party? Just you wait. Oh man. I got called a terrorist twice yesterday on Insta. Welcome to my life, dude. I've been getting called a terrorist every fucking day by liberals mostly. Like, it used to at least be Republicans that used to call me a fucking terrorist. Now it's like Joe Biden defenders on the timeline being like, you are literally a terrorist. You love terrorism. You are a terrorist. It's crazy. It's crazy how fucking hard so many goddamn motherfuckers have just like dropped any pretense of just like being woke at all at the tip of a fucking, at the drop of a hat. They are now immediately like, nope, you're a terrorist.
Now, I mean, it's like it's absurd.
The institution. What happened in Michigan?
Anyway, Biden camp responds to Michigan uncommitted campaign. Biden campaign co-chair Mitch Landrieu finally responded to listen to Michigan's uncommitted campaign, stating, "We are going to continue to talk to them and ask them to think about the choices and what the consequences are about electing somebody who wants to have a Muslim ban." Today, 104 Palestinian civilians were killed by Israeli forces as Gazans try to access food aid trucks in Gaza. In response, listen to Michigan campaign manager Laila El-Abed issued the following statement. "It is deeply offensive that President Biden keeps suggesting he has a messaging issue among Arab Americans and young people rather than a funding bombs issue. Biden's re-election chances will be judged by how much of Gaza is left standing by November. It is our hope that Biden chooses the people of America over sending Netanyahu a blank check for war and occupation." They're so clear. Like, this message is so incredibly clear. And the Democratic Party is basically still going, yikes, sweaty. Well, the other guy will send bombs too, and they're going to be extra racist. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you saying openly that you want to be like 1% less racist than the other guy? Sorry, I'm going to be 1% less racist than the other guy. You have to vote for me. I've been covering politics in the United States of America, specifically the Democratic Party, for 10 fucking years now. And this is the first time I have seen the Democratic Party so openly lean on the harm reduction angle in a way where they're like, no, we're going to continue doing harm, but like a little bit less harm. It's unironically, it's gotten worse than it was before. I don't know how.
Hamas! Come on!
That's so good. Holy shit. The tell is in what they are saying. The other guy with the words, meaning they know what they're doing is bad. Yeah. It's nuts. Mehdi Hasan went on